Revelation 2228. B. From the 4th of February 1942. Jesus Christ, bearer of truth. Apostle. They were to proclaim the pure truth to people, and thus he promised them his working of the Spirit. As soon as God's Spirit was able to express itself through the apostles, they inevitably proclaimed the pure truth, for it was no longer the apostles who spoke to people but God himself, and thus Jesus Christ, whose body and soul had united with the eternal deity, was still among them. Truth had come forth from God. It had been conveyed to earth through Jesus Christ and is still conveyed to earth as soon as the Spirit of God can work in a person who makes God his own and deepest love, who affirms Jesus Christ and desires the power of the Spirit. This is the living word which God imparts to people who believe in him, love him and keep his commandments. It is the power that flows out from God and overflows into everyone who desires the truth for Christ's sake. Christ, as the bearer of truth, was in intimate union with God, and thus the human being must also unite with God in deepest intimacy if he wants to receive the truth from him. He wants God's Spirit to descend upon him and guide him into right knowledge. And thus he has to become a love. For in constant activity of love he draws closer to God and now shapes himself such that the Spirit from God can work in him and through him. This process is absolutely necessary in order to receive truth, therefore only those people could teach and spread pure truth to whom truth flowed in this way, to whom the Spirit out of God imparted pure truth. But there have always been people who claimed the right to teach but who were not taught by God themselves but took their knowledge from sources which had to be denied divine spiritual activity. And consequently their teachings no longer corresponded to the pure truth, but the teachers themselves were not accessible to higher wisdom, for they did not accept the teachings from heaven if they were offered to them. And gradually what broke through as Christ's teaching among humanity was completely deformed. But since Jesus Christ is and will remain the bearer of truth for all eternity, time and again he seeks access to people's hearts, and where he finds a receptive heart, a heart which subordinates itself to his will, which opens itself to his words, there he teaches again in the Spirit of truth. There he seeks to kindle the embers of love, he seeks to stimulate the will into eager activity of love and thus to shape the soul such that the Spirit from God can become effective in it. And again the pure truth flows to people, for Jesus Christ himself descends to earth in the Word and reveals himself to those who listen to him, who love him and desire his word. Amen.